Well, welcome to AnestiGames. Today is Modern Warfare 3. Now I know I've already had, it's been like two or three, I think it's been 3 episodes of Modern Warfare 3. But I like Modern Warfare 3, and this is my best game ever. As you can see, I'm just searching for it here in the vault to play it for you guys. I have 12 minutes, 15 seconds, and 6 milliseconds to explain to talk about what I'm going to talk about. So, I guess we'll begin, and I'll start by saying that the topic is not what you might have thought. Yeah, I know, with the title Wild Nights, you might think 1,000 different things, but it is about my wild nights. Now you're confused, I know, but just watch this beautiful masterpiece and listen to the stories that I have, because these stories are quite strange, but it'll make sense in the end, and it's just they're just stories, my experiences. So to start, I will take you back to my childhood, as if I'm not still a child, but when I was a young child, I found life to be pretty good, I think. I don't know. It was life. It was pretty good. Like I said, just for the most part, typical childhood, I guess. Good parents. Some issues, but overall, I guess I was absolutely terrible. I was a terrible kid, which you may not have known about me. Whoever you are, you might have. You probably know my childhood and don't even think was terrible, or you just have no opinion. So I was kind of a troublemaker. I got in trouble quite a bit at school. I would say it ended about 11th grade, which is kind of funny. That I actually didn't get in trouble at all was pretty much 11th grade and 12th grade. I'm not going to lie. 10th grade had some issues, but I think they were kind of blown out of proportion. But before high school, and even before middle school, middle school wasn't that bad. People just, everyone liked me, but I wasn't bad. But in elementary school, I was pretty bad. So let's just leave it at that. So I think it kind of ties into what I'm going to talk about, and that is simply dreams. Well, dreams and some other stories, as you'll find out. Get to the point, right? But I don't have exact written out recalls of what I'm going to be talking about, so we'll just have to kind of wing it a bit. But as a kid, I distinctly remember having the same dream. I think I was probably 5, I was in the range of 5 to, I'd say, 8 years old. And this same dream would come back every once in a while. I don't particularly remember when it would return. It just every once in a while would come back. I don't know what was going on in my life at the time it would appear, but I think it had a lot to do with stress or something along those lines of a discomfort mentally, although I didn't really know that's what was happening. So the dream This is not going to make any sense. But the dream is simply this, or some form of this. And it's pretty vague and hard to explain, so I'll try my best. All I remember from this dream is that I would be sort of at the end of it, when I'd wake up, be traveling very quickly, almost into a dark abyss or something, and it was terrifying. I don't remember now. I think, that doesn't seem too bad, but even recently I sort of thought about that sensation, I guess, from the dream, and it is scary a bit. It's like, oh, well, as a kid, it was bad, and it woke me up every time, and I couldn't sleep, and it was just a recurring nightmare, basically. And like I said, it would come back every once in a while. I don't remember how often it came around, but I do. It's just one of those things that it came around every once in a while. So the meaning of that, like I said, I don't know. It might have been stress, some hidden away thing that a young person doesn't know how to articulate in words, or the higher thinking and why is this occurring. You don't think about those things when you're young. You're a kid. All I cared about was Super Nintendo and, being an evil child at school, I guess. So that was the first dream, and it was recurring. The next incidences aren't dreams. I mean, I've had some crazy dreams, and one of the things I want to note, I remember saying this to someone recently, I have a lot of dreams about bears. The big, like grizzly bears, black bears, mostly grizzly bears, but it's very strange, especially when I was younger. I had a lot of dreams about bears. There was one, for example, that had a giant bear in it, bigger than a train, and there was a train in the dream, and I think he knocked over the train, and that was scary, but it was awesome. And then another one I dreamt that a bear was crossing the street. I was looking out my window. I had a bunk bed at the time, but I was looking out the window, and there was a black bear just started running across the street, and it came inside, so that was kind of freaky. Those are the most notable ones. I think there have been more, but bears and spiders, spider dreams come around every once in a while. So it's just something I wanted to note. It's really weird. I don't know what the meaning, if there's a meaning to that. But anyway, let's continue. I'm going to start with the first incident. I call it a night terror, I guess. But the backstory is this. We had just gotten back from Las Vegas, and this was back in 8th grade, from spring break. And I remember, it's easy to remember, but I went to my friend's house the night after. I think the night we got back, it was the night after we got back. And we stayed up all night. And I stayed up. I didn't sleep at all. I think there was like 2 hours or 3 hours I actually slept a little bit. But it was rough the next night. Because what happened was, I went to bed as normal. But then I woke up and I was like tripping. I thought I was in the desert. And I was looking around and I thought, wow, just crazy stuff going on. And it was the weirdest thing. It was like a dream in real life out when I'm awake, but it was weird. It's hard to explain. It's like a whole different state of mind. So I had that happen, and that was the first incident. I think, I'm not sure if it was the same night that I jumped off my bunk bed, but one night I don't know what I was thinking. I stood up on the edge, and bunk beds are only like 6 or 6.5 feet above the ground, above the floor, but I jumped up and off it onto my heels, and oh, I couldn't. It hurt to walk for days after that. And that was one of those trippy sort of what was I thinking, episodes, and I now that I look back, I try to make sense of them, but I have no idea. I know that the first, the one after spring break was because I didn't sleep at all the night before, and that threw off something in my mind. But the one after that, I jumped off, which actually might have been the same night. Like I said, I can't remember. I don't know what I was thinking about that at that time. I literally thought it'd be cool, like, to jump off, but I wasn't thinking straight at all. So it's perplexing. The next incident is, and there are many of these that I probably aren't remembering, but there was one where I woke up and I was screaming things. I don't remember what. I think there was something to do with a spider. But then, one time I woke up screaming again. I think I was yelling, but it wasn't. It was weird. I thought, I don't know if I was vocalizing or not, but I jumped out of bed and ran out into the living room and looked around, which I think was pretty strange. And I think it's not normal, but I think it happens. The next, and I know that I'm going over on this limit for this gameplay, but I'll add a bit of another one to make up for it. The most recent one, which made me think to even do this video, is it was recently, and I woke up. I woke up and I thought there was a swarm of these flies around me, and I was swatting at them, and I ran out of my room, and I swear I saw more of them, and I was swatting at them. So, I don't know. That one is the most odd because it's just, I don't know if I wake up between sleep cycles and something weird happens or what's going on, but it's all weird stuff. So I just thought I'd share that. It's freaky. I'm a freak, but yeah, it's probably nothing in comparison to some of people's experience, but that's me. So yeah, I don't think I'll add another gameplay. It's just gonna be a black screen at this point, but I'd like to say thank you for watching and have a good day.